You probably grew up hearing that American agricultural scientist George Washington Carver invented peanut butter. But while Carver, who was born a slave and later became one of the most important black scientists and inventors of the early 20th century, discovered over 300 uses for the humble peanut, including sausage, mayonnaise, coffee, cosmetics, shampoo, shaving cream, hand lotion, insecticide, and, yes, a peanut paste, the American staple can be traced back to the ancient Incas and Aztecs. Experts agree that the peanut plant originated in South America. Peruvian and Brazilian art and pottery decorated with or in the shape of peanuts goes back as far as 1500 BCE. The Incas ground peanuts with maize to make it into a drink, used peanuts in sacrificial offerings, and even buried peanuts with their dead. European explorers first encountered peanuts in Brazil. The Spanish took peanuts back to Spain, where they then migrated to Asia and Africa. And it was from Africa that they made their way to North America in the 1700s. In the early 1800s, peanuts were grown in Virginia, mainly for oil and food for livestock. They became much more popular during the Civil War, when soldiers on both sides ate them as a high source of protein. P.T. Barnum Circus sold hot-roasted peanuts to crowds, and they later became a staple at baseball games. But it wasn't until the early 1900s that peanut harvesting equipment removed the need for hand picking, allowing their popularity to spread across the entire country. But who invented modern peanut butter? That can be attributed to a handful of people. While peanut butter was first introduced to Americans at the St. Louis World's Fair in 1904, Marcellus Gilmore Edson of Canada patented peanut paste in 1884. And in 1895, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, yeah, that Kellogg, patented a new process for creating peanut butter from raw peanuts. He marketed it as something people with poor teeth or the inability to chew solid food could eat for necessary proteins. In 1903, Dr. Ambrose Straub patented a peanut butter making machine, and a few decades later, chemist Joseph Rosefield invented a way to make smooth peanut butter that kept the oil from separating by using partially hydrogenated oil. He licensed his invention to the company that created Peter Pan peanut butter, and he went on to make his own version. He called it Skippy. A few more peanut butter facts. Peanuts are not actually nuts. They're legumes, like beans, lentils, and peas. The U.S. is the third largest producer of peanuts, behind China and India, and more than half of the U.S. crop goes into making peanut butter. It takes roughly 540 peanuts to make just one 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. The average European eats less than 1 tablespoon of peanut butter each year, but the average American eats roughly 3 pounds. That's enough peanut butter to coat the floor of the Grand Canyon. Polls reveal a gender divide on which peanut butter is best. Women and kids prefer creamy, and most men, including me, go for chunky. That said, my favorite ways to eat peanuts are raw and straight out of the ground. They taste basically the same, but they're the texture of edamame. Or boiled in brine, as they do in the South. Stay curious, my friends.